Hi guys, Scotty here with another DBZ Dokkan battle video for you. In this video, we're going to be looking at how you can beat Stage 1 of Ultimate Red Zone Pure Saiyans Edition, along with its mission to beat it with 6 movie bosses category units. So this is the team I used on the left, and there is a second team on the right there if you can't make the exact team from the left. I've tried to make them as distinct as possible, not too many of the exact same units on, but hopefully you can make one of them and get this done. So this fight is not incredibly difficult, however, Super Bosses is not the most amazing category. It did recently get a boost with Tech Frieza / Gogeta, but still it is not the most brilliant, I would say, category at the moment. It still has some very tanky units on it though, and we'll jump into that in just a second. But let's take a look at the boss first, who we're going to be up against here, and it is going to be Physical Raditz. So he is going to nullify super attack ceiling effects, he's going to disable attack and defense reduction, and if there's any character with the name Goku in its name present, he is going to get an attack plus 50% boost, which is nothing to sniff at. It is quite significant when his super is going to be 2.5 million and is also going to be a AoE. So he's going to be hitting all your units whenever he supers, and he can super pretty regularly. It is about, I think it's once at least per turn he can do, so he won't do it more than once a turn at least, and he has a bit of a cooldown on it, but it's still, that's quite a hectic AoE, 2.5 million AoE. So he's got about 500 million health as well, so he's quite a chunky boss. You're going to see that this teams, they don't have a ton of damage. That is one of the problems on movie bosses right now. We've just had an easier release, Golden Frieza, so I haven't seen too much about him just yet. I'm just about to finish the video on that, and then I'll go play around with him, so maybe that would help out quite a bit, because movie bosses desperately does need some help when it comes to damage dealing. We have quite a few tanky units on there, as well as the new unit that has a nice little active skill that's going to taunt and raise his defense massively. However, taunt doesn't really matter for AoE, so quite funny that we got a movie boss's mission right off the bat that completely nullifies the main movie boss's unit that just released main ability. So that's fascinating, but hey, just think Dokkan things. So I wouldn't worry too much about saving the actives on the Tech Freezers, because this is going to be a full extreme team, so you can't even use the active skill on the Gogeta side. But the main thing we're going to be doing is pretty much babying everyone, making sure we're okay until we hit stage 5 and the first Gogeta can come out. Then once the first Gogeta comes out, we should be dodging everything, and we should be putting out big damage, and that's going to be the goal, to chunk down that 500 million HP. And now Raditz can be stunned, which is very nice. Stun can just completely nullify everything, and two of the best units for that in movie bosses, well, some of the only stuns actually, is going to be LR Int Broly, as well as LR STR Turles. So those are two units that have a chance to stun on their supers, and if you do get a stun in, that is going to be fantastic. You'll just completely nullify everything Raditz is doing, and that will be a great time. So if you are struggling a little bit, maybe just think about swapping in one of those or both of those guys. They both can definitely survive, and they're great on this team, and they will hopefully get that done for you, get the stun off, and then you'll just have some free damage. Otherwise, it's going to be hopefully getting to turn 5 and then doing all your damage with the 2 Gogetas. Now, if you don't have the new Tech Frieza / Gogeta, it's not a problem. You can just bring a friend lead, and then your lead can be the LR Tech Broly, which is a 200% movie boss's lead. So that's quite nice as well. And he is a massive tank on his own right, and when he transforms, especially alongside LR and Broly, he can be a bit of a beast and do a lot of damage, and yeah. So yeah, that is pretty much all the tips I've got for you for Raditz. He is not a super difficult boss. His main thing is just that we have a category here that is not super duper juiced up just yet. Probably will get a couple more easy A's and things happening during the event, but right now we're not super juiced on this category. But it's not terrible. 2.5 million is manageable. The problem is the AoE, and honestly, the one taking the most damage, surprisingly, was the new banner unit, LR Tech Freezer, because he does need to get hit to get more of his, to get his defense going. So his defense is quite low before he gets hit. So AoEs are definitely a problem for him. So jumping a little bit ahead here to turn 5, where we're going to have Gogeta, make sure that you immediately swap into him, put him in slot 1, and give him as many orbs as possible. Remember, he gains attack and chance to dodge every time you give him an orb, so you want to give him as many orbs as possible, so that he has a stupid high chance to dodge, and he is doing massive attacks, because you're going to have no one else on this team doing 42 to 15 to 60 million damage. He is going to be finishing this out for us here, and you will hopefully have 2 rotations. Otherwise, just 1 is fine, not the end of the world. Unfortunately, we won't be making use of his active because we have no super class. We have no super class allies on our team, so he won't get that active, and he does take a long time to show up because of that. So a little bit of a punishment for running the movie bosses category, but what can you do? And yeah. Now, just before we end off here, I just want to say, remember, there is no mission to do this without items. If you really are struggling and you just want to get the dub and get your stones, don't feel bad for using items. No problem at all. Go ahead, do it. Use the items and get your clear. Otherwise, this is not too difficult to do if you have the right units, but if you don't, pop the items and you'll be absolutely fine. But thank you so much for watching. I will check you guys in the next one.